Speaker, if you're ever wondering how to make things more expensive, simply put a Liberal in charge.
Well, that didn't take long. Welcome back to Moose on Loose. My name's David. Today, we've got Michael Barrett catches one of Carney's ministers in a lie during House session. We also got the media attacking Avi Lewis giving his first press conference. They don't want him pulling support back from Carney. Got a bunch of other stuff here. Let's jump into this. Starting this episode off, we got Shrey Teast with the by-election predictions here. Terrebonne, he's got it predicted at the BQ 42%, so up +3, and the Liberals at 38%. Let's hope that's what happens here, so Carney doesn't get an extra majority today. And it says win probability 68%. Now he's got the University Rosedale one here. Liberals 57%, -7. And look at this, NDP +14. Crazy. So up to 24. Obviously, Liberals are still going to get this, but that's pretty wild. Avi Lewis having some change here. And Avi Lewis did his first press conference today. We'll get to that in a second. First, we need to look at Scarborough Southwest. This is a 61% for the Liberals. This is a stronghold, Liberal stronghold. And Conservative 25, NDP 10%. You see they're +5 here as well. Getting to Avi Lewis's press conference, his very first press conference, the media are hounding this guy. As Azaravant pointing out here, I've never seen regime media talk to Mark Carney this way, only opposition politicians. We're so used to this tactic deployed against Pierre Poilievre, we think it's ideological. It is in part, but it's mainly about protecting the Liberals. Just look at this. There is no denying it.
I think you can see what expert mentors I have in sticking to the subject at hand, people. This is how you do it. I mean, we are talking about something that is of pressing concern to Canadians. Think about the last time you were in the grocery store. Did you see a digital price tag on the shelf? Do you know whether or not it's talking to your cell phone and finding out what you last searched for? Do you have any idea if you're paying the same price for toilet paper that the person who just took a package off the shelf did? That's what we're here to talk about today.
Like, for Heather, can we get a question on Trump blocking Iranian ports?
The questions, thank you.
But Trump is blocking ports.
David, you're next.
Trump is blocking ports. Are we not allowed to get answer from Foreign Affairs?
What's next? I'm happy to take your question.
That's the press gallery's room. If Mickey's got a question, she got it up before I did. So
okay.
The question is for Heather as Foreign Affairs.
I'm going to take the rest of the questions. Thank you.
Okay. Well, what do you make of? Well, first off, why can't the Foreign Affairs critic answer? And secondly, what do you make of Trump blockading ports in Iran?
It is. So first of all, we had a conversation as a caucus before the press conference, and they encouraged me to do my first press conference on the Hill and answer the questions. Yes, I thought it was appropriate when talking about someone's personal future to give Alex a chance to speak about that. Would you like my answer on the question?
Yes.
So I guess he had someone else speak briefly, but this is cringy to watch, but I think this is fair. If they had a caucus meeting saying that he would speak, he would answer all the questions, despite them trying to ask Heather McPherson here a question, I think that's fair. If that's their plan, then they want him to speak for his first press conference. The media should respect that. The reason why they're trying to get Heather McPherson to speak during his first press conference is to make him look less important. They want to try to diminish him as a leader immediately during his first presser here. I'm guessing this is a strategy they planned before the press conference to try to cut him down and not have people go over to the NDP and start supporting that party again. But as we just saw with the by-election previews, it doesn't look like it's going to work. The NDP who supported the Liberals are going back to the NDP. Moving ahead, we've got a little update to this. So I showed you this yesterday. Justin Trudeau, he's at Coachella. That's where this photo was with Katy Perry with the single-use plastics and then him banning single-use plastics 2019 in Canada. Well, the update here is Fox News is pushing this out. We are the laughing stock here. Former Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau being labeled a hypocrite for partying with red Solo cups at Coachella alongside girlfriend Katy Perry after led a nationwide effort to ban single-use plastics in Canada while in office. I mean, it's every day here. Got this one here. Conservative MP tells reporters on Hot Mic Liberals are trying to poach me. So this is Billy Morin. This one's on the Global News here. Conservative Member of Parliament Billy Morin says Liberals are trying to get him to cross the floor, but has no intention of leading the Conservative caucus. I mean, this is undemocratic what the Liberals are doing here. Are we going to see a whole schwackload of new board members for Brookfield in 2032? While we're talking about corruption, we've got Spanish Prime Minister Pedro Sanchez's wife has been charged with corruption, bribery, and influence peddling. No surprise there. The woker they get, the more corrupt they get. While we're talking about international news, we've got this video here that's come out. So that will be copyright, but this is Hungary's incoming health secretary dancing around like a buffoon on this on the stage. Well, what is this? This is embarrassing. There it is, air guitar. Got to throw that in there too. Okay. We got this one coming from Blacklock's reporter. Mark Carney's deputy defense minister, Christine Fox, is refusing to apologize or resign after she was caught hiring her friend who worked at Good Life Gym. This is nepotism. The Liberals love doing this stuff. Fox says she was promoting diversity and inclusion because the friend was black. Oh, that's right. Throw these people in jail. We've got Conservative Vincent Neil Ho posting this. Mark Carney promised we would build at speeds not seen in generations. His record so far, we've got February 2026, building permits Canada, 12.1 billion, February 2026, minus 8.4% monthly change. Building permits Ontario, 4.6 billion, minus 15.1% monthly change. Is this elbows up? The House is back in session. Both Carney and Pierre are not in the House today.
Station right now knows that the prices are simply out of control. Today, a liter of gas in Ontario is $1.70, and in BC, it's over $2. You don't just pay for fuel at the pumps. You pay an excise tax of 10 cents, a fuel standard of 7 cents going to 17 cents, and a GST on all of that. All of those are just federal taxes, adding up to 25 cents on every liter. Liberal taxes have turned a bad situation into a tax grab for the government. Will they adopt the Conservative plan and suspend all of those gas taxes today?
The
Honourable Minister for Finance.
Mr. Speaker, we won't take lessons from these Conservatives. We are very, very aware of the situation, Mr. Speaker. We have been following this issue. Let me remind them that there's something called a conflict.
Let me remind these guys how many empty seats they have here. This is the first day back after 2 weeks. And you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 empty chairs just in this frame. These guys, what are they doing? Where are all these Liberals?
In the Middle East going on, Mr. Speaker. We're watching the situation.
There are some things the government can control, and there are many things that it should control. For the Liberal government, the pain at the pump isn't a coincidence. It's actually a policy choice. It's up to them now how much tax goes on every liter of gas. That sits at 25 cents. But they could make it 0 cents by adopting our Conservative plan. While they delay, Canadian families suffer with an extra $20 every time they fill up. The Prime Minister has been looking at it while Canadians have been paying for it. When does he plan on doing something other than just monitoring the situation?
The Honourable Minister for Finance.
Mr. Speaker, in fact, we have done a lot, and let me remind the colleagues, because it's Monday, the first thing that we have done was to lower taxes for 22 million Canadians. Yeah. Well, just talk to your constituents.
Oh, that's right. $20 a month they lowered taxes. Such a huge tax cut. This is absurd. If they cut the gas tax, for a lot of people, they're filling up once a week. It would be $80 a month, as in 4 times their tax cut, just off of reducing GST.
Well, they will tell you, my friend. Just ask your constituent, they will tell you, Mr.
It must go through the speakership. We've had 2 weeks break, but it feels like people have forgotten a lot about the House of Commons. The Minister.
Right, you know, it's all about emotion and passion in this House, Mr. Speaker.
The Minister won't stand up and give a clear answer. In fact, he won't even talk about gas prices, and it's very easy to see why. Oil prices aren't hurting this government. They're actually funding the government, because with every $10 of increase in oil prices, the Liberals get $2 billion more in tax revenue. That means Liberals are collecting a generational windfall at the pumps, while Canadians pay more for everyday essentials. I'll give the Minister some more practice, and I'll ask him very slowly, will he suspend the out-of-control gas taxes and return the $5 billion to the people that paid for it?
It's not like the Liberals are taking this extra money and paying down the deficit so we're paying less interest. They're just going to send it out to well-connected insiders, Brookfield contracts, all this kind of corrupt garbage, foreign spending. They could give it back to us. They could pay down the deficit. They're not doing either. Moving ahead, we've got Fraser Institute President Niels Veldhuis, who's blowing the whistle. Canada's decline is a Liberal problem.
Yeah, so first off, Andrew, I want to be really clear that, while Donald Trump's tariffs have had a really negative impact on our economy, and there are businesses that are trying to get around that, perhaps by considering relocation, the problem that we have in Canada goes well beyond that, right? We're talking about a 10-year, a decade-long problem where we've had a massive flow of capital out of our country, like $400 billion over 10 years. Wow. That's not a Donald Trump tariff problem. That's a Canada problem.
Yeah.
So that's self-inflicted wounds by our country because we've scared capital away from our country. And on a per worker basis in Canada, so if you think about business investment per worker, like that's how we're going to become more productive That's down 25% in Canada over the last 10 years.
Is it?
In almost every single advanced country, it's increased. It's up 20% in the US, and it's up 20% in all of the developed countries on average. So we're an outlier,
Right.
because we're scaring away capital. And look around, we live in an amazing country, but yet we're scaring our capital away, and a lot of that's going to the US. And, if there's anything that the last 10 has been really negative in the last 10 years, I would say that we've become known as a country in Canada where it's really hard, if not impossible, to get things done. And that's so different than some of the jurisdictions that you talked about,
Right.
which have cultures of, hey, we just want to get stuff done. We want to knock down all the barriers so that a small entrepreneur can start a business like that.
This is the Liberals' failure here. I mean, everyone's sharing this graph. Canada economic growth for the past 10 years, Canada 0.5%, America 20%. How long do we have to keep losing before Canadians realize it's the Liberals that are destroying our country? And on that note, we've got this one here, a list of estimated oil reserves here with Alberta as the third here. You've got Iran, Iraq, Kuwait, etc. Moving ahead, we've got this one here. High percent of Canadian entrepreneurs are starting their businesses in other jurisdictions for a litany of valid reasons. Percentage of overall Canadian founded companies by location. And we see the blue one here is America, the red one is Canada, and the EU is this gold color. And well, we can see over the years, 2015, Trudeau gets in and less businesses are being founded in Canada, and it's dropped off a cliff in the last year. I can only imagine what it is because this only goes to 2024. Carney gets in, and what are we down here now? These guys are ruining our country, and Canadians are not paying attention. And Carney's come in here within a year has destroyed our relationship with America. I mean, you hear the rhetoric yesterday. He's absolutely destroying it. Obviously, the Americans want to make a deal with us because they don't want China taking over all these critical minerals in our country. And Carney has ruined 100 years relationship with America in 1 year. Deeper into the House session here, finally getting some juice here where Francois Philippe Champagne is getting ripped for his connections to Alto with his wife.
Beetle Lakes. At least 90 billion taxpayer dollars are at stake in the Alto high-speed rail project, and Canadians deserve to know that personal relationships aren't influencing government decisions. And the finance minister recognized the risk of a conflict of interest with his partner serving as a vice president at Alto. And the law says that he can't be part of decisions, discussions, debates, or votes when it comes to Alto. Canadians deserve to have confidence in their public institutions, in all elected officials, and especially when $90 billion at stake. So will the minister come before committee and address this conflict of interest?
The Honourable Government House Leader.
Mr. Speaker, the minister has already answered that question. There is no risk, of course, and the minister complies, as we all must, with some of the most stringent ethics rules in the world. As for Alto,
They love saying that. You know, it's always the opposite with the Liberals. We have the most stringent ethics rules in the world. That means we have the worst ethics rules. They know how to get around all of them. That's what they're doing right now. Sure, there's a bunch of rules in place. It doesn't matter if you can just go right around.
high-speed rail in Canada, it is a generational project, one that is desired by people in that member's riding and people all over Canada, Mr. Speaker.
Why would it be desired by Canadians all over Canada? I have no interest in a high-speed rail going from Toronto to Montreal. I'm not going to take that high-speed rail. It'd be more valuable if they built a bridge from Vancouver to Vancouver Island for me. I don't see them doing that.
We've got the government House Leader disagreeing with his finance minister here, and this is the confusion that's created for Canadians. It's the finance minister who said that he needed to recuse himself from the discussions. He said he needed to put in place a conflict of interest screen, but then went ahead and participated in discussions, debates, even said at Senate committee that he was delivering the goods for Canadians. Exactly. Well, if he's recused himself, why is he also voting on this issue in the House? Canadians have concerns about how this $90 billion is being spent. They're concerned about this conflict of interest. Why won't the finance minister speak for himself, get on his feet and say he'll come to committee and address it?
It's amazing. So Francois Philippe Champagne is there. He doesn't want to address this. So that's why McKinnon stood up, and then McKinnon running Shield. Listen to this very carefully here. Michael Barrett is smart, and he picked this up. He's exposing their stories don't add up.
Mr. Speaker, the minister has already answered that question. There is no risk, of course.
There is no risk, of course, except Francois Philippe Champagne said he recused himself. So there is risk. Which one is it? These guys just got caught out again. Okay, so jumping ahead, this is McKinnon's response, because obviously Francois Philippe Champagne not going to answer this question.
The minister has answered that question repeatedly, and we follow, as everyone must, the highest ethics code, the most stringent ethics code in the Western world, Mr. Speaker. We will continue to do so.
oh, the most stringent code in the Western world. We're so corrupt around here. You know, this time he's not going to say there's no risk. These guys know how to circumvent all the laws.
Speaker, if you're ever wondering how to make things more expensive, simply put a Liberal in charge. The Trans Mountain Pipeline cost more than 6 times the original budget. A RIVE scam, 700 times. And now the Liberals are asking Canadians to trust them with a $90 billion budget for a high-speed rail train. That's more than even the deficit. Canadians cannot afford any more of this Liberal waste. Will the government focus on getting shovels in the ground for nation-building projects instead of blowing billions of dollars on a train to nowhere?
The Honourable Government House Leader.
Mr. Speaker, high-speed rail is a major nation-building project.
Yes.
High-speed rail is something that, you know what, Conservatives used to talk about. Their 2023 convention voted overwhelmingly to ask the government for high-speed rail. We listened very carefully to that Conservative convention, and I can assure you we're moving forward on at least that one Conservative policy, high-speed rail for Canadians, Mr. Speaker.
This is ridiculous. Nation-building projects are projects that build wealth in the country. We're not talking about physically building chunks of rail line across the country. Nation building wealth, as in oil and gas pipelines, LNG, critical minerals, things that will build the prosperity of the nation. This $90 billion high-speed rail will go up to like $400 billion, and it only generate $20 billion in revenue. It will put us in a massive deficit, and Liberals will get rich. All their Liberal-connected insiders, Francois Philippe Champagne's wife, all get rich in the process, bankrupting Canadians. Next up, listen to this. The Liberals, a whole bunch of them, just start having conversations while Jazzraj is speaking, and the speaker does nothing.
Bragging about a $90 tax cut. You can't even buy a jug of milk for that weekly. And Canadians are paying on average 20 cents more per litre than the Americans, and the difference is because of fuel taxes. The Liberal Prime Minister said he's looking into lower gas prices, but the answer is right in front of him. Will he implement our plan to get rid of all fuel taxes federally to save Canadians $1,200 at the pump? Yes or no?
There's a disrespect here, the speaker not even speaking up. It sounds like there's 20 Liberals having conversations.
Mr. Speaker, I think it's pretty clear that Canadians from coast to coast to coast and members in this House are gravitating to our Prime Minister's leadership. On this side of the House, we're going to continue to focus on affordability. It's time for that leader to get back in this House and help us build a strong Canada. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Did he just seriously say it's time for that leader to get back in the House? The audacity of him to call out Pierre not being in the House, and I don't know why Pierre's in the House today. I think it would have been better optics if he was running the show here today. But Mark Carney is not in the House.
It's time for that leader to get back in this House and help us build a strong Canada.
Where's Mark Carney? He's not in the House today. How can he even say this if Carney's not in the House?
You know, the honourable member cannot, I know he wasn't, was speaking probably more metaphorically, but we know that we can't indicate whether a member is present or absent. The honourable member for...
It's embarrassing watching these clowns every single day force Canada through this circus.